Some of you may remember this truck from a couple years ago, and there's a great story with that. And don't worry, on a future episode, we're going to go over it. It's Coyote powered, and it's basically a race car underneath. But let's go over here. If you've been watching the channel, you've seen this thing. This is the Volkswagen 411 with a Subaru Forester underneath. It's done, and it's actually leaving today. It's got the parcel shelf, it's got the spare tire carrier, it's got an interior, albeit sparse and basic and cheap, but it was never meant to be anything but fun, and it actually came out better than I could have imagined. So this thing is actually on its way out of here today. Wait until you see what's going to replace it. It's insane. But yeah, let's get on to the matter at hand. This thing. It's a 1973 Rally Sport Camaro 350. It was originally cranberry red, it came with bucket seats, and this was a really cool car, restored in the 90s by a BMX buddy and his father. He has since passed, and this car now ended up with us. My nephew and I went and got it on a freezing cold day, and we traveled all the way up here and brought it to the garage because it needed a few things. It needed a little bit of work on the bottom and the back. We wanted to go through the fuel system. It had been sitting for years. And once we started on the rear end and getting the fuel system replaced, we then turned our attention toward the motor, which had a flat cam. It was started dry, or it had gone flat while it was running. We don't know, but we are here to take care of it. And that's the story of this awesome 1973 Rally Sport Camaro. Come on, let's hear the rest of it. We're getting the radiator out. It's already out. We got a few lines to disconnect, and we're obviously going to pull the motor, but the reality is I want to know how bad it is to give me an indication. I'll sleep a little better knowing if the oil is full of shiny silver bits or if it's fairly clean. There's a separate oil cooler and a dual oil filter system, so I'm hoping none of the crap made it into the motor, but you know it did. I don't know, did it? So we're going to pull these right now and put them over there, and we're going to cut them open and take a look at them. So let's get that real quick. Ray found it in the junkyard. It's stainless. Someone folded it together and tried to solder it like a high school metal shop project. He goes, "You got any use for this?" I'm like, "Let me see that." Yes. And I welded it together and filled it up with water, and it holds water.
Is that on?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that looks like an old school weed tray to me.
You put your weed in there, man. I don't think you put your weed in there. But I welded it good enough to hold water, so I know it'll hold oil. So we'll just let it drip into the high school metal shop project. It's extra lubrication. Lubrication?
You gonna be able to take these off by hand?
With my grip strength, I can do it. I don't know about your girly ass hands.
Trying to get beat up on your own TV show?
Wait till we start drinking and then we'll worry about it. Slow down there, tough guy.
Well, that one's loose.
I got tools.
Don't need them.
No? They both
easy.
All right, good. I mean, I have these.
I was moving my whole truck to get mine off the other day. Mine got on too tight, and I had a big guy at work trying to. He's shaking the car, and I finally got under there. It hurt my wrist.
Well, you know there's a trick for that. You take a hammer and a screwdriver and you poke a hole right in it and just go.
I was this far from doing it.
Did I put that on? Did I change your oil?
No, I did it.
Oh.
I did it. It was just I did it too tight.
Yeah.
I did it a little too tight.
So did you get a lot out of here?
No, I just got them loose, just to stop you from getting the tools.
All right, here we go. It's gonna be some mess.
Not bad.
Inside that white cabinet is a coffee can, plastic coffee jug thing.
Oh. There you go.
All right. Take that over there and set it down. I'll probably need the coffee thing again. I don't know how you're gonna manage that, but
You got more.
oh, okay, good.
They got a couple. Oh, this one's just. Well, after we
Dump
put it
them
out.
out.
Yeah, we'll put it back
those are really crappy. They're no good for automotive.
in. Yeah, whatever.
They were sold as stainless steel clamps.
And they're not.
They're not. They're not even close. The only thing that's stainless is the center screw. You want to do it? Do it. You might get oil on your fancy jewelry. You just hold up on it with one finger in the center and spin it with the other hand. Oh yeah, it's got a long nipple in it.
Pissing all over me.
It's all right. That's rust protection. Set it right in there.
I don't think I've ever seen a car with 2 oil filters. Plus, those are huge too.
A lot of the things that were done on this car
Overkill.
were well over what you would really need. Yeah, like I said before, it's a lot of the stuff is, a little bit over the top, but at the time this was his baby. It was his money. It was, if he wanted to do a double oil filter, you want to put 6 filters? By golly, put 6 filters, You almost get a sense of getting to know the guy a little bit by how he did the work, what he's done and why he did it. And I see it's done really well. The flat tappet cam thing is a bit of a drag, but taste it. If you taste it, you can tell a lot about the person working on it.
That's how they used to test power lines.
How?
They'd lick the friggin' power lines.
They did not lick power lines.
Promise you.
And what did that tell them?
If it was live or not.
They hate their life?
Nope, that was in the books. I'll send
You
you
mean like a 9-volt battery? Like, it's got power.
Exactly, but a 120 line.
Oh, well, 120, only one leg of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It hurts.
Yeah.
A lot more than a 9-volt battery.
As long as you're not grounded, you're fine. All right, let's do magical things with magical tools. It is a $20 Amazon tool, so if I put it on and it snaps right away, we're getting the Sawzall. There we go, buddy. La la la. Already it feels like butter.
It's covered in oil, so
It's Meshuggah.
it's a band.
Is it? No, it's Meshuggah.
Yeah, same thing.
Nah, Meshuggah is something else. I have to ask my Jewish friend what that is.
Schmegma?
Schmagma is not Meshuggah. Why are we talking about this? How did this happen? Woo, watch it now. Watch it now. Is there a spring in there? Sometimes there's a spring in there. Check valve.
Check, 1, 2.
Watch it now. All right. So here's where we get interested.
Magnet?
It's a little dirty. You don't say that. You can't say that on camera.
I say whatever I want. You can edit it out.
This is terrible. I don't know where. I found it in a car or something.
I'm seeing glitter.
Hold this. I'll show you. It's all metal. I need to see. Not you.
My eyes are better than yours.
I mean, honestly, I'm not seeing 10,000 spoons when all you needed was a knife.
10,000 fists? Disturbance album?
I'm not seeing a ton of metal in this. Let's look at the other one. Oh wait, I see some silver coming. This has got to be the second filter in line. You follow?
You think so?
Well, I'm not feeling nothing. No grit. No shining. Shine the light up high, like behind it if you can. Honestly, I don't see anything terrible so far. It's gotta be.
Try the other one here.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut the other one open and see what's up. I find it's pretty puzzling. I mean, I would expect to see chunks of metal in there. If a lifter ground itself down and beat a lobe off a cam, that metal went somewhere. And if they ran it, you know, for a lengthy period of time, that metal has ruined all the bearings. The pause button went off on the radio, and I can't afford that song. Hold on a minute.
There's some silver, a little bit.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah.
That's a lot.
I think you're right. The other.
It's sludge. This is the first one, but I was able to pull it apart. Let me see. It's not chunks.
No.
The chunks are probably all in the bottom of the oil pan. I expected to see what looks like the inside of a dirt bike engine when it blows up. That's what I thought I was going to see. Absolute garbage. All right, let me clean my hands off, and we'll unhook a few more things, and then call it a day. Tomorrow morning, we'll pull that engine out.
Sounds good. Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth. Just take a little weight off of it. Be a good idea for me, too.
Yeah. I don't know if you're on it that well, though, now.
Well, it doesn't matter. Pretty soon, we're taking it out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to.
Hey, look at this. This transmission has some sort of fancy name on it. Turbo Action. High Performance Transmission. All right. Means nothing. It's a sticker. But it's probably rebuilt, which means you can maybe even manual valve body this thing. Put it in low and punch it, roast them till it redlines, then bang second, and do it again.
What do you call that?
Bang second.
No.
The noise it makes?
No, I was being serious. You say, so it basically just...
Manual valve body. Automatic transmissions control the fluid pressure to change gears based on clutch baskets.
Right, but you can have like...
You can hold
1
it.
and 2, basically.
You can hold it
and like a low gear.
in low, L1 and then L2. So you can hold it, take off, put it in low, take off, roast in the tires till it's freaking redline, bang second without ever letting your foot off the gas, and it'll continue to roach. And then when it stops spinning, which it will, it'll run out of juice eventually, and you just knock it into drive and you never let off, and it just freaking kills it as far as the eye can see. But we need to put some wax on the back of the fenders because the rubber is so hot it melts the paint.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then the tires we just bought are wee-hoo.
How's it go?
Wee-hoo.
All day with noises.
Noises are fun.
Are we going higher? You want to zip tie those hoses back up?
Nah.
They're pretty empty.
I just don't care anymore.
Fair. Now you get it high enough, and I'll grab these.
Yeah, just let them, release them. Yeah.
Ow! Hit my butt.
Today, Junior. And halt. Halt. Okay, but we just don't want to break that off. That pulse generator. So you just kind of go like this or raise it, one or the other. It's this one.
Got it.
I don't know, it might be backwards. Yeah, it's that one. Okay, hold it. Sit like that for a minute.
Come off that block here in a second. Or that pad.
I see it.
Okay. You know, just to push it all the way out now?
No.
No. Stand?
Nope. Lower it down. Put it on the ground.
On the ground first?
Yeah. You're gonna have a problem. Now's not the time. This is where I'm gonna turn the camera off and we're gonna separate this and put it on a stand.
Oh, this was on. Okay.
So in a few minutes, they'll be able to see this on an engine stand. So for right now, Triumph.
I forgot that was recorded the whole time.
Do you have a few words you would like to say to the camera? Listen, we've come too far to wear corny shirts, okay? Too far. I think somebody bought me that for Christmas. This is the sign, I don't want it. It's absorbent, so it's served a purpose. Before we do that, we have to disconnect the torque converter, which happens on the bottom. So we'll be able to lift it up, and there's bolts on the torque converter that have to come apart first. Then you can unbolt that, then it'll come apart. But the starter's got to come off too. So I would say start with the starter.
Sounds about right.
Now that Alex and I have got the engine out of the car and the trans on a stand, we've got the motor on a stand, and we've spun it around a few times. I need to take it apart and see exactly what went wrong. Well, we already know the cam's flat. It's not opening and closing the valves. It was running like crap. So I'm just going to take this apart and we'll get to the inner workings and see how bad it is. When we cut the filters apart, we really didn't see chunks. We saw a bit of sludge, but no real chunks. Yes, there was silver in it, which there better be. I mean, there was metal after all. I think we can get away with just a clean on this. But if I pull it apart and see gouging and a lot of mess, then it's got to go in for a full proper rebuild. We're not equipped to rebuild engines here. Take them apart, put them back together, sure. But machining, we don't have that. So I pulled the water neck and thermostat off, and I stuck a nipple in here and I put a cap on this. And the reason is, when I took that out of here, look at the sludge. Look at this. Now I don't know if that's antifreeze that started to go bad, or if that's somebody shoving in some kind of stop leak. But I can't leave that. There's just no way. And I don't want it all over the place. So what I'm going to do is pour some water in here, and it should come out right there. And I'll rotate the water pump, and that should help get some of this garbage out of this engine before I pull the intake off. This is an Edelbrock Torquer 2. This looks like it says 5 of 89, which would be May of 89. If that's the case, these are very old. But like I said, these don't have more than 1,000 miles on it since it was put together originally. And the thing just sat. So either way, I want to change to an Edelbrock air gap. I want a different intake. I don't particularly care for this one. If you watch Engine Masters, you can make more power with a different intake, so. There we go. Man, the motor's like brand new in there. Looks like we had some signs of leakage. This leaked. This intake leaked. I know the bolts weren't very tight. I know that. Well, if we rotate the engine, well, we already know. I was going to say, you rotate the engine, you can see which ones aren't working properly. But I already know which ones those are. It's these, I marked them with an X. This one, and this one, and this one. So those are going to be the ones that are damaged when we get them out of there. And I was told not to pull these lifters out this way because the bottoms of them are mushroomed. So we're just going to probably take the cam out and push them in that way. But now I have to undo all of this so I can get these push rods out, see if we can get some of them out, get them to clear just enough. It should work. All that sludge is leading me to believe that because they had an intake leak, someone was dumping garbage in this engine. That's not a good sign. The cooling jacket's being corroded up a little bit with old coolant. That's not the end of the world. We can clean all that. The interior of the engine is like literally spotless. Of course, there really hasn't been any oil flowing through it in a very long time. We know that much. All right, let me get the rest of this apart. I didn't know that was going to happen. Did not know that was going to happen. I should have known they were going to fall out. 1E1, 3, 3E, 5E, 7, 5, 7. These are backwards. If these are intake and exhaust, 1, 3, 5, 7, this is a 7, and that's 7E. This is a 5, this is a 5E. This should go there, that should go there, this should go there. That doesn't make sense, but we're gonna learn about that. We'll see what the other side says. I think someone mixed them up, trying to get more or less lift. Or they screwed up. This is the valve train, or some of it, and in case you didn't know, these right there, those are correct lifters. That's they're supposed to look like, the bottoms of them, nice and flat. Here are the ones we took out. This one is the worst one out of all of them. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But anyway, I'm going to now pull the cam and inspect the bore and see what it looks like. But we know we have to do cam bearings and all that, so first things first. There you go. All right. I took the big chrome pulley off. I now have to use a puller to get this out. And I'm thinking this is the puller I can use. Let's see, because if this fits down in the center without this bolt, I should be able to just push against the crank and it should just work. This is one of the first pullers I bought at an auto parts store. I don't even remember what I bought it for. Probably to take a steering wheel off to do a backyard alignment. That's my guess. Oh yeah. No, it's keyed. And I should be able to just put this right in the center, put some bolts in here, tighten it up and pull it off. There's one. And there's one. Fair. So now let's just put this right in there, tighten that, and it should just come off. Should. Yikes. Didn't think of that. I have to stick something in there.
Hello? Come on. There you go.
Don't lick that stuff, dog.
I'm out of here anyways. She just walked in a circle.
You missed the part in which I was going brrr for a long time. My nephew would say, "How's that?" And I'd go brrr for a long time. It's good. We got it. Sometimes I've heard in this keyway you can have a screw, like a set screw or something from the front, preventing it from move. But I think that's only in super high horsepower applications. But this is a brand new harmonic balancer, just like everything in this engine. It's freaking brand new. Just a bit of glue. Perfect shape. There's that nut I lost. Cam button. This is a timing set, but it's gears. So this thing actually sounds like it has a supercharger because these gears whine. They're really loud. So when the engine runs, it's like, and again, Alex would go, "How's that?" Anyway, let me get these out of here. We'll get the cam out, see what's going on. It's a mess, but it's not a huge mess. I've had way worse. So we got the cam out, and yep, the same lifters that are junk, so are the lobes. We're gonna pull every single piece of that apart, clean it, inspect it, and most likely put it back together. New cam bearings, obviously, because we're going with a roller cam setup, as I said before. So, if you look close, right there and there, those are the two lobes that are gone. Then there was one more that I marked, which was here, as you can see. They used to look like that. And that is where I marked it when the engine was running. Same over here. We have this one, that one, and that one, which if you can see, there was an XXX. It's not too hard to tell which valve isn't opening and closing. And I'm sure that's how they arrived at the diagnosis. All of them, they weren't mushroomed. They slid right out, by the way. They just slid right out. One of them I had to exert a tiny bit of pressure, but it didn't hurt the bores at all because they literally just finger slid out, which is good. So let me get this cleaned. That's where we're gonna have to leave it for this episode. I've got a ton of parts cleaning to do. I have to break that entire engine down, clean and inspect every piece of it, put it back together, order a bunch of parts to make this a full-on roller motor. We're doing some preliminary guesses right now, and it's possible we may have a 383 stroker motor right here. It may even be bigger than that. We don't know yet. I gotta measure the bore, do a bunch of math. I have to go back and watch Engine Masters so I can see how to do the math. But at any rate, also in addition to the engine parts and the stuff we're gonna do to this car, it needs tires. The tires that are on it, they look awesome, right? They're clean, white leather, BF Goodrich radial TAs. From sitting all these years in between the tread, they're actually starting to separate. You can see steel belts. So yeah, we definitely have to put tires on it. But first things first, I want to get the motor done. So be sure to check back, be sure to check in on all the videos on this channel. Did you know we have over 172 or 5 videos on this channel that date back 7, 8, 9 years? We've built some crazy things in the last several years, and I'm sure if you're new to the channel, you might have missed some of that stuff, and some of it's pretty hilarious. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we had a lot of fun in the early days. So please go back, check out some of the earlier videos on this channel. You're gonna like it. So be sure to like, subscribe, share wherever you see fit, thumbs up, comment, whatever you got to do to share the love. We appreciate each and every one of you. We've got a stock of t-shirts coming in. Don't really have a lot of demand for it yet, but leave a comment. We're going to put up a Shopify store. We're going to have a few of those things in the future. Not to mention, we've got another build that just got here yesterday I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with it. It's so awesome. You can eat off of it. Well, I mean, if you want to get dysentery. But anyways, please remember to like, subscribe, share. Thanks. See you soon.